Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Random Code. In this video, we are going to see JavaScript variables. So in my previous video, I have explained the introduction of JavaScript and where it is primarily used. In case if you have missed that video, I will give the link in the description. Please do watch that video before watching this so that you will have better understanding. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing to this channel and hit that bell icon for the future updates. Now let's get into the video. In JavaScript, not only in JavaScript, in any programming language, the variables are the very key element. So why it is key element? Because let's say we have a value, we want to store that value somewhere and we might need that value later in the code. Okay, so variables do that for us. Basically, a variable is used to store a particular variable and to access them later whenever we want. So that's the use case of the variables. Okay, in all programming languages you can see this concept because it is very basic one. So you can see here I have my VS Code opened and I have created a new file named variables.js. For JavaScript, to specify it's a JavaScript file, we will use that .js extension. So if you don't have VS Code, just install it. It's a very simple light IDE for almost all the programming languages. So when it comes to variables in JavaScript, basically we have different data types in JavaScript. Okay, so there are two types of data types in JavaScript. Primarily the first one will be primitive data types and the second one will be non-primitive data types. I hope you have a confusion here. I will explain it clearly now. Primitive data types contains several data types. Let's see what are those. Number, big int in a sense that's a long range number. Okay, string, that's a normal text. Boolean, it will be either true or false, and null to specify if that particular value don't have any value. Undefined, where the value is not defined with the value at all. Okay, when it comes to non-primitive data types, there are two data types. One is object and the other one is array. So in this video we are going to cover primitive data types alone. We can cover the non-primitive data types in the next video. So to declare variables in JavaScript, we have two main keywords. Okay, one is let. Using let we can declare a variable. Again, using const we can declare a variable. Now you may have a confusion, what is the difference between this let and const, right? So let us see the difference now. Using let, let's say we are creating a variable and we are assigning some value to it. In the execution of code, we want that variable to update it with a new value. Okay, in that case let is very useful for us because it will allow us to update the value later in our code. Whereas with const, once the value is assigned, it cannot allow us to update later. Okay, so it is very strict. So once the particular variable got assigned with a value, it won't allow to update later. So that is the primary difference between let and const. Okay, so let us see with some examples how this let and const will work. Okay, so let's say as I said, this let and const is a keyword. So every time you declare a variable, you need to specify either let or const in front. The second part will be the name of the variable. The name of the variable can be anything, but it has some rules for variable names. Something like it shouldn't start with number, or it shouldn't start with a special character except dollar, and also in between it is not allowed to contain any other special characters, only underscore is allowed. Okay, so these are some rules. And also to define variable names, there are some principles they follow, like camel case, snake case, etc. Okay. Let's say I am going to write a person's name in this variable. Okay, so I'm writing person name. You can see I have two words here without gap, and the second word starting letter I have mentioned it as in capital. So this is snake case. Okay, here I can simply use equal to operator, and inside single quote or double quote I can give the person's name. Just consider this person's name is John. Okay, so now I have stored the John value in the person's name variable. Okay, how we can check whether that person name contains John or not? Okay, for that we can simply do console.log. What this console.log will do is it will print whatever we pass it to them. Okay, so in this case I want to pass this console.log person name. So how we can run this code to check is this working fine or not? For that we can just go to this terminal and new terminal. We can open a new terminal. Here you can see I am present inside this JavaScript JS tutorials directory. So since in my previous video I have shown how to install Node, in my system the Node is already installed. I can simply type Node keyword and the file name which I want to execute. In this case the file name is variables. I can mention .js, but it is not mandatory. If I simply give node variables, see John is printed. Now this person name contains the value of John. Okay, as I said, let will allow us to update the value later, right? Let's say John decided to change his name in some what time. Okay, so his new name is like Brito. So you can see I have assigned his name as John at first, and later he changed his mind to change the name of him to Brito. So when I run this code now, see we are getting the updated value, not the initial value. Okay, so now we have covered the string type. So let us see how this number type will work. Again, this person will have a age, right? So to store this age we can use something like this. Let us consider this age is 26. So you can see now the age type is number. If I hover over this person name, it will be string. Okay, but one disadvantage with JavaScript is like, let's say I have declared age as a number here, but when I change this to string later, it will work. That is because JavaScript is loosely typed. Okay, so it won't check for what value you provide in the right side. As far as it's a legal value, it will take it. You can see we are getting string instead of number. That's where TypeScript comes into the picture, because TypeScript won't allow these things. TypeScript is very strict and it's a superset of JavaScript. So let's say if I remove that and run this code again, now we are getting Brito and the age is 26. So we have covered number, string, right? Let us see the Boolean. So usually in countries they will be having some age for vote eligibility, right? Let's say is eligible to vote. So in this case, if the person is above 18 years, we can say true. If they are not, then we can say false, right? So this way we can use booleans. So till now I am showing the example with const like let, right? So let's see one example with const. For const, I already told you once the value is assigned, it cannot be updated later. So let us consider this, yeah, let's say place of birth, because a place of birth of a person is not going to change even though he is going to settle somewhere else. Okay, so let's say it as New York. So let me try to print this is eligible to vote and place of birth. Now you can see we have a name, age, and is eligible to vote value as false, and the place of birth is New York. Okay, so I told you, right, the constant variables are not allowed to update. Let us say I am changing it to Texas. What you are expecting, which will print, just mention it in the comment section what value we will get now. See, we are getting an error. What the error is saying is like assignment to constant variable. As I said earlier, once the value is assigned, it cannot be updated later. Here we are trying to update the constant variable. So that is why we are getting this error. So if I remove this and run, it will work because the last time it ran, right? So this is what the difference between let and const, whereas let allows us to update but const won't. The balance to one is null and defined. Null is like, let's say we are not sure, like we don't want to have any value for some time. In those time we can use null. So instead, let's say if I want to give a null here, for this moment this variable has no value. That is the meaning. Okay, then for undefined, let's say we are having a variable named UG degree. I have created this variable but I haven't given any value to it, something like this. Okay, I just created that variable but not given any value to it. So if I print this, see, we are getting undefined in place of UG degree because I have created a variable but I haven't assigned a value to it, so it is undefined. Okay, so I think we have almost covered number, bacon, string, boolean, null, undefined. Sure, I'm sure you will have some doubts with it. Just watch this video once or twice to get a clear picture of it. And as I said, in my next video I will cover this non-primitive data types. Thank you for watching this video. If you really like this video, please like and share this video to the friend who is currently learning JavaScript.